Well, Kris, we're so happy to have you on our campus today. Thank you so much for coming. I want to take a moment and ask you a few questions about your time in Mali and writing the book. So my first question is, what do you remember was your first impression of Mali when you landed in the 90s?
My first impression of Mali when I landed was of families. So there were families walking along the sides of the street and women holding these giant buckets on their heads and donkey carts and goats. So it was of people walking together and actually saying hello to me when I passed in a language I didn't yet understand. So that was nice.
Having served, having gone back after Monique's death, what is your lasting impression of Mali?
I'm still in touch with Monique's children, who are young adults now. So even though Mali still doesn't always have electricity in small villages or running water, everybody's got a cell phone.
Yeah.
And so we're able to stay in touch and in contact that way.
To go immerse themselves in sort of another experience and another life in another place. Tell us a little bit about that work, how important it is to you, what are the benefits of it. I'm sure you could speak on it for generations, but a little snapshot about how you got into it, why it's so important as well.
CIS Abroad, the Center for International Studies, we send mostly college students abroad to study, intern, and do service learning overseas. And so most students come back and they discover something they didn't know what was in themselves. So I like to say that we spark growth.
I like that.
And we help develop the potential for every student to change themselves and change the world.
Yeah.
And so we are from in every country, many countries I should say, from South Africa to Greece to Italy.
Very amazing.
Yeah.
So before we leave you, tell us a little bit about writing your own book. What was the process like, especially going back after many years?
After my friend, the midwife, who's the subject of the book, died in childbirth. So it was first sort of a process of grief and actually anger that this would happen to her. And it turned into a story about her life and the joys that she had and her children and her friends and all the things that I love about the country. So the process was hard because I didn't consider myself a writer, and so I had to learn how to bring a story to life, how to bring her to life, so that readers feel her spirit as I was able to know her. So I feel sad that y'all don't get to meet her, that she wasn't here to write her own story.
Sure.
You have to settle for me.
We'll
but
try.
It's been a pleasure.
You wrote another one.
Yes.
So what is next for you? What would you like to do next?
Well, we just came out with our second book, which is we wrote with a Holocaust survivor, and by we, my husband and I, who I met in the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
So beware, ladies, if you go into the Peace Corps. And so I'm really involved in working with this Holocaust survivor. She's a young 88, to tell her story and to get it into high schools. Because there's a lot of need right now in the United States to understand the situation of immigrants and refugees and how do we treat them as human beings that have a lot of the same concerns we do. So that's sort of my next big project, to continue to steward that, since it hasn't been out even for a year yet. And then certainly continuing to develop programs at CIS Abroad that meet the needs of students, because they're capable of so much.
They are.
So anyway, thank you for having me at Mizzou, Nadej. It's been beautiful and wonderful to be here.
It was
like
a
this
retreat.
little gem in the middle of Missouri.
It was a retreat. I'm really glad.
Well, good evening and warm welcome to tonight's Women's History Month event. It was really wonderful to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces. My name is Nadej Uwase, and for the past 4 years, I have been directing the MU African Interdisciplinary Studies Hub.
Thanks for everyone for coming out to participate tonight. As Nadej said, I served in Peace Corps in the village of Zinyasso, Mali. It's near the Burkina Faso border. And I want to share a few things that I learned in Mali.
Icheka kenewa.
Icheka
Nse. Aniche.
Icheka kene.
Toro si tula.
Icheka kene.
Toro tula.
I babu so e face kene.
Ube kakene. Ube bifo. Nse. Aniche. Aniche kosobe. Bon kambufu.
Kambeson.
Unamna. Nse. Alright, so that's how are you? So that's sort of a how are you? How's your husband? How are your kids? How was your day? How was your work? No problem, really no problem. They say hello to you. So thank you for being down with me. Respond with an mba. So I'm going to say, "Aonisu." And if you're a guy, you're going to say mba. And if you're female or identify as female, you're going to say nse. All right, so let's just practice and then we'll really do it. So, Aonisu.
Nse enisu.
Yes. Okay, one more time. Aonisu. Nse anisu. Oh, aniche, aniche, kusobe. So thank you for that health class in session today here at Mizzou. And I also had our 2 children at home with midwives because I saw the power of what women can do.